Hi, good to see you again. It's Graham Martin. I'm the recruitment guy for launchjobs.com. I'm really excited. We've managed to purloin, we've managed to kidnap Michael Portillo, who's here today in Coventry at the Institute of Sales and Marketing Management seminar. Michael, thank you very much for your time.
Great pleasure
Great
to see you.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm interested really to say, we normally talk about how to become a butcher, baker, candlestick maker for the people that are looking. People are looking for work for the most part. But I'm just excited to talk to you because, of course, you've gone from being an MP and here you are today as a semi-celebrity. And I'm interested to try and find out, to pass on to our younger viewers watching, what it's like to finish becoming an MP, and how that felt, and how you transitioned into, I won't say celebrity because that smacks of Hollywood, but nonetheless, you know, you're on the television, you write articles, we've seen you a lot of TV, and you're a commentator, a political commentator as well, on The Week with Malcolm Mackenzie and Diane Abbott. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to try and get it within 5 minutes, but what was it like not being an MP anymore?
Well, on the occasion, it was a blow. You know, I'd been an MP for quite a long time. In fact, I was quite a senior minister. And so just the next day adapting to normal life, I mean, no longer having a chauffeur-driven car, no longer having a full diary, you know, having to travel by bus and by tube, stand in the line to buy my sandwich. You know, initially that was quite difficult to adjust to. But I must say, not for long. And I had an idea, even before I became a politician, that I would be happy in television. And so I began to seek opportunities to make television programs. And there's quite a lot of resemblance, synergy between what I do now as an entertainer.
And were people prepared to listen to your ideas because you've been an MP, you've been an minister?
I've become rather infamous. I was a kind of villain in politics, and so there was a certain amount of interest in me, and I was able to capitalise on that. So in a way, I've been able to change infamy into celebrity.
Right.
But yes, there were offers quite early on for me to make television programmes, and I was able to use those television programmes to change people's perception of me. I mean, I like to believe that I was revealing more of my real self than I had revealed when I was in politics. But in any case, you know, I had that opportunity. I hope that in all the work that I did, I was truthful and genuine. But certainly, of course, I hoped that it was going to improve my reputation, and that I was going to become more popular, actually rather unpopular.
Do you enjoy it more now as a semi-celebrity, as a commentator, political and socially, compared to when you were a minister?
I have much less stress in my life, and that's quite important. And I'm a more relaxed person. And in that respect, I like it very much indeed. In some ways, though, you can't compare what I do now with what I used to do. I mean, politics is painting on a big canvas. I mean, it's an important job. It matters. Things happen. People are affected. Sometimes people live and people die according to your decisions. That's big stuff, and it's incredibly stimulating, and it feels like an immense privilege to be doing it. What I do now doesn't really affect anybody. You know, when I do political commentary, I'm not on the stage anymore. I'm just standing in the wings.
What a lot of the youngsters always are interested in, they say, how much do people earn? Of course, it's a public record. What would one have earned as a minister, you know, when you were in government?
As a cabinet minister, in those days, including my parliamentary salary, I think I probably made about £70,000. But updating it to today, because it's a long time since I left,
sure,
I don't know, it's probably something like £130,000, something like that.
And I'm not going to ask you an uncomfortable question, but, you know, as a private individual now, out there working and being on television and writing articles, would one earn less or more than that today? You know, if you were, you know, I'm not asking what you earn, but generally speaking, would it be less or more?
Well, I don't know about generally speaking. In my case, much more.
Much more.
Now, I mean, that's partly because the fees I command depend upon the reputation I build up in politics. In other words, you know, I told you
You've got credibility.
Well, I've got. I hope I've got credibility, visibility. You know, the name is recognised, and all that's reflected in the fee. So I'm not saying that, you know, everybody who turns to television or everyone who turns to journalism would do better than if they were a government minister. But in my case, yes.
It helps. And if we're looking at a lesson for people that have been made redundant or they've been forced to change their role, their career. You know, clearly it was you woke up that morning when you were no longer a minister, you've got to get on, you've got to, and I guess you thought, well, maybe you're not going to get in again, so you start to think about other things. But has it been overall a stimulating experience to have a new career at no longer being 30, for example?
Unbelievably stimulating, absolutely stimulating. I mean, I joke that when I was thrown out of Parliament, I lost my seat in 1997, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
And I think in many ways it was. I mean, if I'd stayed in Parliament, you know, I might have continued my career there for quite a long time, but I wouldn't have had the stimulus of doing something completely different. And I sometimes say to myself, you know, if I'd got to my deathbed and looked back and I'd only ever had one career, I think I would have felt that I hadn't made the most of life. Now I look back and I've had a whole variety of experiences.
It's richer, yes?
Very, very rich.
And if you were passing on something today to our viewers about how to reposition oneself, how to embrace change, even though it might feel painful when maybe you've been made redundant or you've lost your seat or things have changed without your ability to influence it, what would it be?
Well, you have to see disaster as opportunity. I mean, of course, if you lose your job, it feels like a disaster, and it will probably feel like that for a while. But you just have to recognise that as one door closes, another one opens. And you have to understand that actually the next one that opens may be better. I mean, you had a job before, but it may not have been the best job that you could have had for you. It may not have been the one in which your personality could best express itself. I think maybe I feel that, you know, although I believe my political career was a terrific privilege, I think maybe I'm better at expressing myself in my new career. So, I mean, this is asking a lot of people, because if you lose your job, it's, you know, it's a desperate thing. And for Michael Portillo to say, oh, well, I just moved from, you know, being in politics to being intelligent, that's not an opportunity that's open to everyone. But I think the principle is the same, that you have to have a frame of mind.
So you look at your skill sets, what could you do? How could you utilise them in a different arena?
Yeah.
If there was one piece of advice you could pass on to somebody today that is starting out in their career, maybe they're 18, they're 21, they're finishing GCSEs, A-levels, or maybe a degree, and you're looking back on your career, if there's one piece of career or life skills advice that you'd pass on, what would it be?
I guess presentation skills. I mean, anybody who's going to give you a job meets you and makes an assessment pretty quickly about what sort of a person you are. And these skills about how you talk to people, how you express yourself, how you smile, how you hold yourself, whether you hold your head up, whether you've got your hands in your pockets, you know, all these are very, very learnable skills. And it makes such a difference if you are, you know, outgoing, you've got something to tell the person you're meeting, you have a certain amount of self-confidence, you know how to conduct yourself. You know, these skills make me.
So if one's in the media, one might have coaching, but for people that are out and about, they can buy a book, they can watch a CD, they can pick up tips, they can maybe go to a class with a bunch of people, I guess, to help them become better.
And they can meet people. I mean, there's nothing that prevents young people meeting older people. You come across them all the time.
Yeah.
Try and make some relationships with these people and find out what it is that they do. You know, why is it that they have a self-confidence? Why is it they hold themselves in a particular way? Why do they express themselves in a particular way? Because they have experience, because this is something they've learned on the way. And, you know, if a young person learns that, it just sets him or her apart.
Yep, great. Well, look, we've got some fabulous information. Thank you so much. I'd like to talk to you for longer, but, you know, we try and compress this, otherwise, you know, we lose a degree of interest. People get fed up with my face. But Michael Portillo, it's been a joy. Thank you very much. Great luck with your presentation, with your speaking today. I'll be watching from the back, so thank you so much. So here we are. We've been here today with Michael Portillo. We've got so much information about how to go from MP to celebrity and political commentator, but more importantly, how to deal with the change as we go from one career to another, and some really good advice and tips. So it's about presentation. That's what Michael Portillo's top tip is. Thank you so much. Graham Martin, the recruitment guy. From me, Michael Portillo as well. We'll see you again. Goodbye.